Hello, welcome to Hose Time TV. My name's Kurt, I'm your host. Today's episode is going to be like, how did I get to such a deep level of breathing mastery? And for one, I mean, obviously, I have taken deeper breaths under my own power than anybody on earth, right? So the way that this works is that the world is not materialistic, it's meaningful. Like, existence is meaningful. It's like you're in a giant story of consciousness. Like consciousness, this is all happening inside of consciousness, and consciousness works based off of like meaning. The sensation and the experiences that you have are based off of the meaning that you're capable of detecting and wanting in the world. And so things like water, things like depth, those things are real, right? So I've breathed like, I don't know, 6, maybe 7 feet underwater. Like, I've sucked the air down using my own effort. Normally when people breathe underwater, their gas is pressurized, and so the pressurization of the gas inflates their lungs, or they're holding their breath. I've breathed about 7 feet underwater for extended periods of time. Like, not only have I breathed the deepest, but at that particular depth, anywhere from 1 foot to 5 feet or whatever, I've breathed for hours and hours and hours and hours. Many feet underwater. And so that nobody else has done that in the entire world, anywhere. And so, because reality is kind of made of story, it's made of consciousness, it's made of mind, I have breathed deeper and longer than anybody else in the entire world, because I just have. Nobody has done that. Like, how deep are you? Whenever anybody references that word means like in water. How deep are you in water? Anytime anybody uses depth, it's referencing water. It's an analogy to water or a direct relationship with water, and that's the depth, right? So the depth at which you explore something is reflective of your mastery of that thing. And so in terms of breathing, in terms of awareness, I have breathed deeper than anybody. And so that's how I got to be where I am. Like that thing where you see the SpO2 thing, and I'm like going down to 35% SpO2, and I take a breath in, quote unquote, and I resaturate my blood up to like 75%, and then I go back down to 35%. That, I developed that because I breathed deeper than anybody else. That's how I did it. All you have to do is do something deeply. Like, I did something deeply. Like, I'm doing something like it's like I'm doing the literal metaphor. I'm doing a literal metaphor. I'm making metaphors literal, literally making metaphors literal. Metaphorically making metaphors literal, but for real. And I don't know how many people like are aware of this. I think some people are, but like I don't know. I have the deepest, most coherent, natural perspective. Like, it's natural in that this perspective was given to me by water itself, which is like the formative substance of consciousness within every human body. So I learned all my perspectives and my ideas and everything from water. I've been a swimmer my entire life. I've studied in water consciously, I've studied water unconsciously, I've studied it competitively, recreationally, professionally, artistically, musically. And so I've gone I've gone deeper into that than anybody. And it's, you know, it was a little creative, right? A lot of people that go really deep into water, they do it by holding their breath, or they do it by using a regulator, and like they use it by doing an air tank. But in doing that, they're either holding their breath or they're having a machine breathe for them. And so they can't say that they breathe deeper than me. And in comparison to me, most people have no depth of breath. Most people have not breathed underwater at all. And so they have no experience and they have no understanding that is even remotely comparable to the experiences and the understanding that I have from breathing deeper than anybody else ever has. And I've learned, I don't know, so much about everything. And everything that I've learned is true. And, you know, I could say that by just like, I don't know, I've mastered all the sciences, molecular biology, physics. I've come to truth, like I'm an Orthodox Christian. My truth is in conflict with no religion, including the strictest ones. Like the strictest, most dogmatic religion by far is Orthodox Christianity. And so the insights that I've gained are in complete coherence with the teachings of Christ himself. Not to say that I'm anything special, I'm just using that as a fact check. Like, I don't want to come up with anything that is not in congruence with the truth, right? I don't want to come up with anything that's not in congruence with the truth of being or beauty itself. And so I use, you know, I'm also in total agreement with like Buddhism, Hinduism, and everything. Not to say that I am any of those things. I don't know. I just like from like water. Those things are a description of the activity of water, and I'm saying that I am water itself. But so are you, right? But I've obviously gone deeper into that than anybody because I've studied water. Like, I love it. I'm fascinated by it. Spent my entire life in it. And so that's that's the answer to that question. Otherwise, if you're like interested in yourself, I don't know, I've made tons of videos about all sorts of bullshit. You can go ahead and watch it. Like, subscribe, share. Feel free to give me a call or a text at that number if you'd like coaching. I'll only charge you, I'd like to charge you $1,000 an hour, but fucking whatever. On sale next month for free.